Ever met someone who just seems to have a knack for breaking down complex problems? They analyze every single thing down to the smallest detail. Today, we're exploring the fascinating world of the analytical personality. If you know someone who loves data and logic, or maybe that's you, this episode is for you. Hey everyone, I'm Osamo Jia and welcome back to my channel. Grasping the nuances of different personality types has really changed how I approach life in general, and I hope that after this video, it will have the same impact on you too. But wait, do you consider yourself analytical? Comment before you start watching this video. So what exactly is an analytical personality? Analytical types are logical thinkers who thrive on data and details. And for example, that's me. You often find them in roles that require critical thinking and problem solving, whether it's in tech, research, or management. They love diving deep into information. And let me give you an example of myself. So I love finance, kind of like tracking numbers and things like that, and I can sit and get lost in a spreadsheet for hours. I know that's weird, but kind of that's who I am. So let's break down some key traits of analytical personalities. One, detail oriented. They notice the fine details that others might overlook. For this set of people, accuracy is key for them. I would say for myself now, just something as little as, let's say, the table or a table where I work, and if I see something just a little bit tweaked, not how I kept it, I can actually notice that someone has actually touched that thing, which is not really common for other personalities to actually do. Two, logical. They approach problems with reason and clarity. They rely on data rather than emotions. So I kind of see this is helpful, like in people in terms of managing money. So let's say you have a budget and it's like really tight and you have to stick with it. So having this type of people is actually lovely because due to them not relying on emotions, they're actually able to make logical decisions. So it kind of helps you know that okay, if buying this doesn't make sense, then don't buy it. Rather than, oh, I might not see it again, and the emotional side of things and things like that. Three, methodical. They like to follow a structured process to solve problems, ensuring every angle is covered. And I'm sure you've heard, people like this or people like me, we are perfectionists. So when we have a challenge, we like to, okay, this is a structured way we are going to approach it to ensure that it actually gets solved. We're not, I would say sometimes we don't really like to, do that try and error kind of thing. We like to make sure that okay, we are doing this, so this is detailed and this is what we're going to do to get the result that we want to get. Four, inquisitive. They love asking questions and digging deeper to understand how things work. So with people like this or people like me, you see us kind of probing questions to kind of get down to the bottom of something. So usually when you tell us something first, especially if it's something that we don't really agree with, we don't usually just flow with whatever you say. We keep on asking, okay, why did this happen? How did this happen? We just keep on probing questions to try and understand the situation better so we can find a logic around it. Yeah, I guess. If you relate to any of these traits or you're like me, comment below. Now let's talk about the strengths of analytical personalities. One, problem solving. They excel at identifying issues and crafting logical solutions. So basically, when we have well, kind of people that like to break things down. Let's say we have a paper, we have this issue, we kind of okay, write this down. You see us, being all okay, drawing this line, drawing this line, drawing this line to see okay, this is what we can do, this is what we can do. So we're actually, I would say we are pretty good at problem solving, breaking down things to kind of find solutions for them. Two, accuracy. I've said this before, perfectionists. Their attention to detail ensures high quality work. So this set of people, let me give an example now. Let's say cleaning, which is very easy. Will I say look, most of them don't usually clean, but let's say in terms of like their working space, something as little as this. Let's say this is how I dropped this. I dropped this somewhere here, and I came the next morning and I see it here. For someone like me, I know that someone has moved this. Or let me give a more complex example. Let's say finance, for example. So now, let's say a particular number is off. Let's just say a really small number is off, people like us try to go back and find what actually caused it. Which some other personalities will actually be like, you know what, it's actually a small amount, let me just leave it. But we will go back to go and find what actually caused that thing, which sometimes can be very time consuming. Three, objectivity. They remain impartial, making decisions based on facts rather than feelings. In this, in our types of decision making, most times emotions is always out of it. Facts is what we follow. So if whatever is happening doesn't align with the facts, most likely it doesn't get done. And if you've ever experienced any of these strengths in action, share below. Before we dive into the challenges analytical types face, if you're enjoying this video so far, hit that subscribe button and give it a thumbs up so that more people can find this content. And now let's dive into some challenges. It's not always easy. Analytical personalities encounter their own set of challenges as well, and one of them is overthinking. They can get caught in analysis paralysis, making it hard for them to make decisions. Sometimes overthinking, so sometimes using logic to make decisions is good, but sometimes at a point it gets too much. When you are trying to break down everything, just make a simple decision. You are looking for this, and that. You can actually have made a decision and save more time rather than spending a decision that you don't need to, really go and look for the logic behind it. You just need to just make it as fast as you can. Some is understandable. Two, difficulty with emotions. They might struggle to connect with others on an emotional level, which can lead to misunderstanding. Like I said earlier, facts over emotions. So when people see decisions to take, it might actually lead to misunderstanding because we're not really connecting more on an emotional level. Instead, we connect more of like logically. So like in terms of more the money aspect, us not buying that thing can feel that we don't care. But basically we know why we are doing it. But in the whole essence is that it causes a misunderstanding between you and the other person. Three, rigid thinking. Their structured approach may make them resistant to new ideas or spontaneity thinking. So for this set of people, let's say you give them a new idea. So most times it is like if they can't do the math in their head of how this can work, they really don't really try it. They are really, I would say sometimes it's kind of like risk adverse. So let's say you're bringing them an opportunity and they can't see how this opportunity can make their investment worthwhile. Most times they have issues like kind of expanding their thinking to say, okay, there's a different way to look at this. Sometimes they're like, this is how it should be done, and this is how we look at it. While in some cases now, the way you might actually be looking at it might actually not be the right way. So in that case, I would say we have to be more open to listen to what other people might say, or be able to adapt to new ways of doing things. And if you have actually experienced, or you know someone that has experienced any of these challenges, you can comment below. So how can you work effectively with people like me? Here are some tips. One, provide clear data. When discussing ideas, back them up with facts and figures. Don't just come to us and say this. We want to see the facts, we want to see the figures behind it, and so you can actually back up the thing you are saying, so it's easier for us to understand what you are saying. So that when we say no, you don't think we are being rude or anything like that. Two, encourage questions. Foster an environment where they feel comfortable asking clarificative questions. So let's say you give them something, create an environment where they can actually ask you back, okay, I don't understand this. I know sometimes it can be a lot of questions, but if you can actually create that environment, because it's good that we understand what we are doing, so we can actually put in our the best energy and not waste too much time doing that thing. Three, be patient. Understand that they may take time to process information before making decisions. So for people, I would say, sometimes when it take time, we kind of do like a quick math in our brain of how this can maybe play out, or how this we kind of want to like do as many scenarios as possible. So if you go this is logical, this is the outcome. If you try this is the outcome. Want to try different scenarios before we say okay, this can actually be the best one, which I know is that, but just please be patient. And that sums it up, folks. The analytical personality type, detail oriented, logical, and ready to tackle any challenge. If you identify yourself as a type C personality, if you after this video and you were like you're surprised that, oh wow, okay, I think I'm actually be a type C personality, drop a comment. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out this playlist on other personality types, and I'll see you guys on the other side.